judges are ready, the fighters are ready, the boxing world is ready.
The fight starts now!
Let's go.
How do you like it? On the show.
So aggressive, so focused.
It all comes down to this. Still the undisputed champion of the world. DAZN Weekend Preview.
The heavyweight division has always been the glamour division of boxing. Throughout the years, it's produced the biggest names in the sport. The old guard, however, are just that, old. And there's a new sheriff in town. That man is Moses Itauma, and he's looking to break right through. In order to do that, he has to fight a gatekeeper in the division, someone that still has a lot of life left. That is former world title challenger Whyte. Before myself, Barry and Darren break that down as well as the undercard, here's more on the main event.
In the heavyweight division, legacy is earned, not gifted.
Itauma wins in one!
Like I said, it's Moses Itauma's time.
And for Moses Itauma, the road to greatness is being paved one fight at a time. In his last outing, Moses Itauma faced Whyte a former American football linebacker turned knockout artist, known for his knockout power and physicality.
And he's in with a hard-hitting Mike Balogun.
Balogun brought the pressure early, but Itauma brought poise beyond his years. Winning by a vicious TKO in round 2, he made a statement. Still just 20 years old, the Southpaw Phenom is unbeaten, unbothered, and on course to become Britain's next world heavyweight champion.
I'm called the brightest prospect, or whatever I'm called, it's just noise.
You got more chance of winning the lottery than you beating that Moses Itauma, let's be honest about it.
In my mind, the last thing I'm thinking about is trying to prove someone right or wrong. I've got my self-worth and self-respect for me not to give up.
20 years of age, done everything up to his yet that's been asked him. And obviously going in with somebody like Dillian, who's got a wealth of experience and at the top level and so forth, would be a really big test for him.
When I first turned professional was obviously breaking Mike Tyson's record, youngest heavyweight world champion. We couldn't do that, so now it's just like step by step, fight by fight. If you're gonna ask me like what's my plan in this division, is to knock Whyte out, I guess.
A lot of the general public, the expectation's almost like it's a 2 or 3 round job for Moses. And my opinion is if there was any other heavyweight in the world boxing Whyte, they wouldn't say it's a 2 or 3 round job. So I think that just tells you how highly people think of Moses.
Today you're gonna say that you're the best, tomorrow might say you're the worst. But like if I wake up in the morning, I'm still gonna be Moses Itauma.
Moses has breezed through his opponents up until now, not going past the 6th round in 12 fights. This will be his toughest fight to date. And the man who's standing in his way?
I'm going up against the next Mike Tyson. He's been compared to Mike Tyson and a lot of great fighters, and I'm just the old me. I've never been compared to Jerry Cooney.
The body snatcher, Whyte.
Whyte makes the breakthrough in the 4th round just as he did back in the summer.
Chisora is straight to canvas.
Still dangerous. Veteran of heavyweight rules.
I ain't got nothing to prove to no one. All the pressure is on him.
Dylan do something that this kid hasn't seen before. The pros on this level is totally different.
Chipping away, bobbing and weaving. So yeah, Moses, the winner of Moses is a chance for me to get back.
When Whyte finally got a shot at world glory, it wasn't meant to be. And after having to pull out of his last fight against Joe Joyce due to an injury to his hand, he now has another chance. A win over the hottest prospect in the division could catapult him back amongst the big hitters.
Okay, bring my career back. Obviously, I've been a bit in the long grass for the last couple of years, obviously, in misfortunate situations. I've been a bit in the long grass.
August 16th, during the Esports World Cup in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, on the global home of boxing DAZN, this is more than a fight. This is one of those moments. Does the torch pass on to Moses Itauma, or does Dillian Whyte derail a future superstar?
You know, we can't go out and try to gun. He's young. He's youngster, fast, you know what I mean? So we got to get him into, you know, these deep waters. That's the key. Got to get him into deep waters where he hasn't been.
One of the reasons he is taking it is that Moses is WBO #1 at the moment, so that there's some kind of light at the end of the tunnel for Dillian taking that fight.
No light at the end of that tunnel.
I agree with you. I think Moses...
You know, obviously, I've been written off. Everyone's put me as the underdog. I've been written off, and that's great for me.
Written off, but not out. Is this the last outing for the veteran, or a chance to remind everyone of his legacy? It's a crossroad. If Itauma wins, the path to a world title gets clearer. The talk becomes reality. If Whyte wins, the comeback is on. The veteran stays alive. This is a classic case of youth versus experience. Moses Itauma. Dillian Whyte. One fight, two futures. Live on DAZN, August 16th. Don't miss it.
All right, let's talk about that main event. Dillian Whyte versus Moses Itauma. It's been billed as Young Lion versus Old Lion. How do you see it? I feel like since it got announced, people's opinions on it have swayed a bit to that Dillian's got a bit more of a chance than maybe when it was first announced.
Well, they've seen him training and the shape, the tremendous shape that he's in. So I understand that, but still, you know, you have to go with your first assessment. If it's a sensible one, then it is the passing of the guard, you would feel. And it is the biggest test of Itauma's career, on paper, by a million miles. But still, if you're only as good as your last fight, Whyte wasn't very good. He wasn't. I mean, you know, he won and he got the rounds under his belt, but I'm not quite sure that was what he wanted. He wanted a big statement to get rid of Tete, and he didn't do that. And I just think when you slow down a little bit with age, against someone like Itauma, who will see those punches coming and then work off it, it might just be a dangerous night for Dillian Whyte. But he's tough, he's rugged, and if you can drag him into a bit of a war and make it untidy, then it could be a fight for Dillian.
I'm with you as well. Form, for me, is the issue. On the flip side, Itauma's looked very good. I don't think Dempsey McKean's a bad test at all. Yeah. When you see the fight that he had with Filip Hrgovic and you see what Itauma done to him, it was frightening. But I do feel there's going to be a big aspect of pride that will play a part here. I think Dillian Whyte's really going to have the bit between his teeth. I think he's going to be out there to prove the naysayers wrong. You know, I'm too experienced, I'm too good. This is the right time for me to be fighting Itauma. If I wait any longer, he's just going to get better and better and better. But Itauma at this stage, I just feel is better in every department. But that left hook of Dillian Whyte is a game changer.
What about the experience of going through the rounds as well? Not saying Itauma can't do it, but his last 7 or 8 fights has only gone 2 rounds in each of those. It's been 1 round knockout, 1 round knockout, 2. What if it does go past 5 and 6? Does that favour the man that's been 10 and 12 rounds so many times in his career?
It depends how those 5 or 6 rounds are. I mean, if he's winning them comfortable, then no, it's not a problem for the time. If anything, it's worse for Whyte. If Whyte's struggling to hit the target and getting caught from different angles, which could happen. But if Whyte can drag him into a war early, make it very, very physical, then it's a problem. Yeah. As it's with Dillian Whyte, what's made Dillian Whyte so good is his ferociousness. He commits to every shot and makes mistakes. Because he's so committed with the shots, he almost backs people up and then he throws another shot, gets himself back online. But when you slow down, what makes you good makes you vulnerable all of a sudden. And I got a feeling that he might have slowed down enough for that to happen. And we say this about Itauma all the time, the feet and the speed of a middleweight, the power of a heavyweight. Yeah. And if Dillian has slowed down, then that's a huge problem for him.
I spoke to Itauma the other day and he said he first picked up a pair of gloves when he saw Dillian Whyte take on AJ.
Oh, wow.
I was like, wow. So, I mean, if you're Dillian Whyte, when do the mind games start? Early? I mean, because they can't start on fight night. You've almost got to make this boy know that I've been doing this before you even decided to lace them up.
Yeah, all day long. You've got to let them know from the off that I'm the man who's been there and done it. I just want to play devil's advocate. If there was 2 negatives, right, or not 2 negatives, 2 questions that I have when it comes to Moses Itauma, who's passed every test other. One is we've not seen him get hit yet. You don't always have to get hit. The other one, Ade, is I've seen before him talk about his desire and how much desire is probably the wrong word, how much he loves boxing, and he's not like a mad lover of the sport. When it gets hard, and it will at some point, how much is he really willing to go that extra yard to get that win? You know, I don't know. Not everybody needs to love it, but it's an interesting question.
I love it, right? So many different ways to look at this fight. We're going to find out on Saturday night. That's the key to it. And we're going to find out what happens on the undercard as well. Remember, Britain only has one male world champion. That man is Nick Bull. He takes on Sam Goodman. Before the fight, he spoke to our very own former two-weight world champion, Carl Frampton.
Tell me, before we even talk about the fight, I want to know about Liverpool and what the city means to you.
It means everything to me because that's where I'm from. That's where I grew up. So yeah, it's everything to me. And I've been starting off here, you know, my whole career. And you know, I always said I was going to be world champion and have a main event fight here, and I've done that. And the city got behind me. So yeah, I feel like anyone who's watching me gets behind me because it's interesting. It's my type of style. What they like watching. You know, they get the money's worth for.
So Nick, building, you know, a fan base in the small hall shows and going that route to fighting. Your last two fights have been here. Can you tell me a wee bit about what the atmosphere and stuff was like?
It was crazy, yeah. The first one, coming back as a world champion, defending there for the first time, it was mad. Yeah, it was a mad feeling. I was in the changing rooms, obviously focused, warming up, and then when I come out to do the ring walk, the crowd was all, you know, screaming and shouting, videoing and things like that, and then it was a mad feeling for me. It was like, these are all here for me.
So this fight against Sam Goodman, how are you feeling going into it?
Feeling good, yeah. Feeling ready to go. Third time back in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, so I'm looking forward to getting back out there, yeah, and putting on another good performance.
And what do you think about him as an opponent?
I'm not really too sure until I get in there with him. The main thing, though, he's unbeaten, so he's not going to want to get beat, is he? He's going to come and try and take what I've got, and I'm not going to let it happen. So it's going to be interesting.
How do you see the fight going, Nick?
You know, it's a hard one, isn't it? Because you don't really know, and no one really knows until the bell goes. But you know, first round highlight reel KO, it'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice. But sometimes it doesn't always go to plan. But that'd be nice. Yeah, nice explosive knockout.
Only one male world champion from Britain. I don't know if that's concerning or if it's just what it is, right? Everyone has their circles and cycles. I guess maybe that's what it is. But Nick Bull is a good world champion. Sam Goodman, though, is a very good fighter.
I think he's very, very good. I think this is a dangerous fight for him because, you know, the way Goodman, he likes to be aggressive, throws in combinations, and as we've seen with Nick Bull, if you push Nick Bull back, he's nowhere near as effective. Still good, but nowhere near as effective. He has to be the one coming forward and closing the distance himself. But Ball's 100 miles an hour. It's going to be, and also Goodman is a super bantamweight. Really, he moved up the featherweight. Even though he'd be the taller, it might look the bigger, but he's not. And that might be down the stretch. We've seen as well with Nick Bull. That might be the telling factor.
My always concern for people like Nick Bull is that they've already planned out fights for him. They won't admit they have, but let's be honest. We know there is kind of plans for him. He's not overlooking Sam Goodman, is he?
I don't
because
think
the prize after Sam's a big one.
Look, I never mind a fighter having sort of half an eye on the future because that gets the juices flowing. It gets the bit between the teeth. This is a live fight. I'm telling you, Goodman's a very, very good fighter, as Barry said. Very accomplished, can do a bit of everything, economical, he's good on the front foot, good on the back foot. And like a lot of fights on this card, I look at it stylistically as we do, and it gels. This gels very, very quickly. It's one of those, there's going to be ebbs and flows. It's one not to miss.
Yeah, in terms of a fight that maybe surprised a lot of us when it got announced, let's be honest, no one saw David Adelaide versus Filip Hrgovic coming. We thought it was Adelaide, Jimmy TKV, and maybe Hrgovic against someone else. This one's very intriguing. Both got new coaches in Abel Sanchez and Adam Booth, both trying to learn new things from their new coaches as well. I guess you make Hrgovic a favourite, but Adelaide is a live dog in this one.
He is a live dog, but it's a massive upgrade in opponents for him. And make no bones about it, it's a big step up. And I like the ambition, actually. No, I really do. You know, coming off that debate, there's no contest in there, wasn't it, against Jamie TKV? But I mean, it's a hard ask. I think, especially for a man who boxes with his left hand low against a man who has a thunderous right hand in Hrgovic. I think and Hrgovic is a very good boxer. He showed a really good engine against in his last contest.
Joe Joyce.
Thank you, Joe Joyce. And also showed how well he can box off the being pushed back, and the way he can find space to find the counters and the quality shots. So, I mean, David Adelaide, has to make him work hard from the offset, but that's going to tire his tank also. So it's a really interesting fight.
Brilliant matchmaking. I really like that fight.
What, the risk-reward factor?
Yeah, I think it makes perfect sense. Adelaide's done what he needed to do domestically. Now he's looking to push on the world scene. Filip Hrgovic is a wounded animal. He wants to come bouncing back. Well, I mean, he's got that defeat a couple of fights ago. He's back to winning ways, but still yet to find that real form. So, yeah, I think it's brilliant matchmaking. And
very quickly, Ray Ford against Abraham Nova. We just saw Abraham Nova go past. I actually think this could be, stylistically, for Ray Ford, maybe a bit more difficult than Kakache. I feel like this is a really good replacement, and they've done well to get Abraham Nova in. Big name to get in.
It's a huge banana skin, I think.
Yeah.
I think Ford's better at super featherweight, but he's up against a massive super featherweight. I mean, he's a light welterweight. Pretending to be a super featherweight. And he boxes well. He's off the counter. So the single shots that Ford throws with that lightning fast southpaw jab can be countered off Nova, and he will throw in combinations. The feet are the key for Ford. They're in and out and sliding low, and he does that very, very well. And if he does that and he's patient in the early rounds, I think he wins. Never comfortable, but wide. But it's a fight where he can lose his concentration for a second.
Yeah, temperament for me. We like the fact that there's this fire in the eyes of Ford. It makes him so excited. We've seen it in the past with him. You know, you just think, just stick to your guns, do what you're very good at consistently, and you can win easy. But he wants to get stuck in, and I love that. I think temperament and discipline, so important. Nova's a very good fighter. This is another one that is split opinions.
Yeah, another fighter likes to get stuck in is Satsumi. He takes on Kez Ashfaq. And there was a time coming through when Kez had so much promise, right? A very, very good amateur. Suffered that defeat to Mark Leach, and he's kind of been stumbling since then. I spoke to him, and he said, look, it's the first time I've had a 10-week fight camp. I don't know if it's going to be enough to get past Satsumi, but you never know. This is it, right?
Satsumi is all wrong.
Yeah.
For us.
Stylistically,
if I'm honest, nice, yeah. You know, he's calculated. He's very accurate. He's a big puncher. He's sharp. He's hungry, ambitious, and yeah, he's a very good fighter. And as good as a fighter Ashfaq is, with his amateur pedigree, Olympian, his punch resistance isn't that great, you know. And we were talking as well. Doesn't really like pressure fighters, does he? We see that against Liam Dillon.
Yeah, I think he struggles with weight of shots and people in front of him. You know, that just that presence. I think he's a fantastic boxer, but one of those guys who just couldn't transfer that amateur pedigree over to the pros. And Satsumi is very economical, punches hard with it. I don't think he's a knockout puncher, but every punch is solid, correct. So yeah, there's a big favourite in that fight, but you know, Kaz has the ability, you know, to maybe do good in the early rounds, and he has to cling on for down the stretch, hopefully. And
let's be honest, we have seen some upsets here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. But let's remind you of what we got coming your way on Saturday. We start with local favourite Mohamed Alakel taking on Yuman Santosh Singh. Ray Ford returns to action as well. This time it takes on Abraham Nova. A cracking heavyweight battle between Filip Hrgovic and David Adelaide. Hayata Satsumi versus Kez Ashfaq in a super featherweight contest. And Nick Ball, Britain's only male world champion, takes on Australian Sam Goodman. And the main event, Dillian Whyte, the old lion, takes on the new lion, Moses Itauma. Remember, you can purchase this one. Just go to DAZN.com/boxing, and we'll see you then.
Live only on DAZN, Itauma versus Whyte, August 16th. Moses Itauma, the heavyweight division's next global superstar. Feared, fearless, and just 20 years old, faces his greatest challenge, Dillian Whyte, the body snatcher. Back to remind the world he's not done yet. The fate of the heavyweight division hangs in the balance. Who will rise? Plus, a stacked undercard. Itauma versus Whyte, August 16th. Watch only on DAZN.